Today in our 2001 Dodge Ram, we'll be having a look at and installing the Carr Custom-Fit Side Step, part number CARR103991-1. Now this is also available as a pair with two steps, part number CARR103991. Here's what our steps look like installed. Now these steps give us a stylish look and give us the ease to get in and out of the vehicle easier and safer. Now one of the reasons why you're going to want this particular step over others on the market is that you can cater this to your particular needs. You can mount it closer to the front if you're shorter, more to the middle if you're taller and your seat's further back. You can even mount it center of the door if you want, just to have a more uniform look, or if you wanted to put this in the back for rear seat passengers, you could. It's all up to your personal preference where you want it. Another great feature about this is it has the adjustability that you're looking for. Vehicle-specific steps, there is no adjustment. They mount where they mount. You can't adjust it for the angle or anything. This particular step, you can adjust the angle to fit your needs and the positioning of it. One thing I really like about this step is it's a very clean and rugged look. It gives our vehicle more of an off-road appearance, and yet it doesn't take up very much space underneath the vehicle. Tube steps, in most applications, run the entire length of the truck, and they take up a lot of space, which could make it difficult for you to lift your vehicle up on a rack for service. These don't take up much space, so they're not going to interfere with hoisting the vehicle in a normal application. The step surface of our steps have a nice textured pattern which provide traction and grip during wet weather situations, so you don't have to worry about sliding off. These steps feature a 500-pound capacity, so they won't bend or flex as you're getting in and out of your vehicle. The steps feature a durable, rust-proof aluminum construction with a heavy-duty powder coat finish, which will resist chipping, peeling, and fading. The steps feature a multi-mount construction, so you can mount them on various applications without any issues. These brackets feature multiple holes to ensure that your steps are level with your vehicle. These steps offer us a 5-inch drop. The step portion is 7 inches wide by 3.5 inches deep, giving us a large enough spot to put our foot on to make it easy for us to get in and out of the vehicle safely. Overall, they're only 10 inches wide, so they don't take up very much space on your truck at all. Now that we've gone over some features, we'll show you how to get it installed. We find ourselves underneath our vehicle looking at the inside edge of our rocker panel. This yellow mark here is where the center part of our step is going to reside. This is also the front edge of where our seat is on the driver's side. We're looking at the passenger side of our vehicle, but we determined that measurement off the driver's side edge of the seat and then transferred by measuring back the same amount of distance, so our steps are not going to be offset on our vehicle. They will be the same distance apart. Once we have the center of the step determined, we measured out, according to the instructions, the appropriate distance to the front and the back, and then up. Where we have the two lines intersect, that is where we're going to drill our holes. So we'll take a small drill bit and drill right in the center of those marks. Okay, now we'll enlarge our holes from the outside edge with a 5/16 drill bit. Now we'll take our short bolt, a flat washer, stick it through the hole. Okay, we'll take our bracket, and in this case, we just want to make sure this tab here faces down, and we'll push this bolt through this hole. Place a washer over the bolt, and we'll thread on a nut loosely. We'll do the same for the other bracket now. Okay, now we'll take one of our long bolts and a washer. We'll put the bolt through this hole here that's by itself, And that'll go through this hole here in our step, which is the bottom hole. So we'll slide our step into our bracket and push the bolt through the step. We'll do the same for the other bracket on the step. Now in this particular instance, we're going to use the hole that's next to the bottom for the other hole in the step. We'll just loosely thread a nut on both of these bolts for the time being. Now we'll take our plastic wedges, slide them against the rocker panel behind the bracket. What these wedges do is make sure our bracket has good contact with the rocker panel, and it helps to level out our step. We'll do this on both of them. There's a grommet over here in the rocker panel, so we'll just slide it as close to that as possible. It doesn't have to make full contact. Now we'll take a marker, go through the top hole on our bracket, and mark on our spacer where we're going to need to drill a hole through. I'll slide these out now. Okay, you can see our marks now. We have these in a vise. And we'll drill a 1/4 inch hole right through those marks that we made so our hardware can pass through them. Okay, with our holes drilled, we'll now slide them back into place so the holes line up with the hole in our bracket. Now we'll drill a small pilot hole through the center of the bracket into our rocker panel. We want to make sure we only go through the first layer of the rocker panel and not all the way out the other side. And now we'll take our long self-tapping screw, a washer, put it on a 5/16 driver, and we will go into the hole that we drilled. We can fully tighten this screw. Now we'll take the bolts out that hold our step and place to our bracket. Take the step down, and now we'll fully tighten our bottom bolts. We can take the step, slide it back into our brackets, and reinstall our bolts the same way. We'll make sure we have a washer behind the nut this time, since we are permanently installing the bolts now. And now we can snug up these bolts. We don't need to go super tight on these bolts, just tight enough so they're not going to back off, and so our step won't move when we step on it. And that completes our look at and installation of the Carr Custom-Fit Side Step, part number CARR103991-1 on our 2001 Dodge Ram.